Spencer Ross is one step forward, and I hope you're doing well. How you doing? How you been? I've been gone for a little bit. Went on a trip, as I talked about, and the trip was rough. 2 weeks, no shower. That was a little difficult. Got sick. Whatever. Trip was good. Accomplished a lot. Did a lot. Saw a lot. Learned a lot. Grew a little bit. But yeah, 15 days with no shower. That was rough. It was hot. It's the summertime. It's gonna be hot. Anyways, how you doing? How you been? So normally when I start these videos, I start with a stone face. I'm not smiling, and I was just so excited to do this video. I was smiling, and I waited it for the camera to stop shaking, because when I push record, the camera starts to shake. And so what am I going to talk about? Well, one, I'm excited, so I wrote some notes. Haven't done this in a while, so I wrote some notes. A little nervous about getting back into this, so I wrote some notes. Why? Why do I want to write some notes? Why am I doing this? Well, I want to be better as a leader, and going through this effort of making videos and thinking through these problems will make me better. A part of coaching will help you be better if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to grow. And I want to help you be better. You don't have to buy anything with this. There's lots of other good videos out there. There's lots of other good people, lots of good books, lots of things to learn, but I just wanted to add to it. Hopefully be a support for your day, hopefully be something positive for your week. And I just wanted to try to help you out. So, what are we going to talk about this time? One of the things I want to talk about is stuff's going to happen, right? You're going to go 15 days without a shower. How are you going to respond? The sun's going to come up. Your alarm's going to go off. How are you going to respond? How are you going to react? People will sometimes say that you always need to be in charge and you need to be the one that dictates everything. Well, sometimes you just need to respond to stuff. All right, so trip. Went on a trip. I prepared for the trip. The trip was good. So after the trip was done, I sent an email to some people saying, hey, can you give me a review? And I'm going to give you a review. Be open with it. Be gentle with it. There's going to be someone on it, but he's just on it to learn about how we give reviews and feedback. And nobody's responded yet. So I'm going to write a follow-up email saying, hey, come on. Let's critique each other. Let's help each other learn something that we need to grow on. If I'm missing something, I want to know about it. Yes, it can be embarrassing. Yes, it can be scary to go through this process and to go, man, what is he going to say? If I say something bad about Spencer, is Spencer going to retaliate against me? Is this going to hurt his opportunities for something later? We need to take that step when we're with people. We need to try. Why? Because feedback is important. Feedback is good. We need to respond to events. If I'm a jerk, I would like someone to tell me, hey, Spencer, you're a jerk. If I'm not speaking loud enough, I would like someone to tell me, Spencer, you're not speaking loud enough. I didn't like the fact that we didn't have showers. I said something about that. Nothing happened. But, okay, I still said something about it. I gave feedback. Why? Because next time I'd like a shower. Is that fair? Is it fair to ask other people for feedback? Is it fair to ask them for feedback and then follow up saying, hey, you haven't given me feedback yet? Don't worry about this other guy reading it. He's a good guy. He hasn't been vindictive so far. He hasn't been a jerk so far. Trust him. Do you have any other reason not to trust him? So I'm responding to things. The trip was good. We got a lot accomplished. It was rough. I thought we all did a good job. I've sent some emails in response to that. Now, I work in an organization and I go on vacation and I will give reviews online. I went out for food. Went in, they didn't have my food ready. They had a phone number to call if I needed help. No one picks up the phone. No one's called me back. I left a review. Normally I don't leave reviews unless I've been there twice, but I waited. I paid money. I got my money back through the credit card company. And I left a review. Hey, your phone number doesn't work. Your to-go area doesn't work. There's no instructions when you show up to the place. I don't leave negative reviews for not liking the flavor of the food. If the noodles are bad or if the food's burned, I might leave a review on that, but usually it's the second time. But I leave a review because not to crush them, because in some areas a review can crush someone, but I want them to be able to have a better experience for the next time. When I'm asking for this review or I'm giving a review, I want them to grow. I want to grow. But the organization I'm in, sending an email, isn't official. It has no meaning. Like, who cares? You sent an email. It can be used for something else, but it can't be used in a review. So there's no way to have that be a negative retaliation for them. It can't. Now, yes, sometimes we've had bad experiences, so we respond to it. That's why we don't give a review sometimes, and that's why sometimes we don't give our opinion. But if we haven't experienced in that from me or somebody else, let's review. Let's give that opinion. Politics. Venezuela had their election. Some other very busy year with elections. America had an election. There was an assassination attempt on Trump. I don't talk about politics too much on this channel, but the assassination attempt, there were some people who could only say negative things about some agencies. There are some people who are silent. There's lots of little things to give reviews on. I've talked with friends about it. Okay, so we have our own opinion. Sometimes you will do security. When I worked at the school, I did security. So when there was a shooting or there was an emergency, we would review it. Okay, how would we deal with that if that happened here? So there's a shooting, and then what are the next steps? What did we think happened? How do we think they handled it? Are you willing to talk about it? Are you willing to respond to the events? And sometimes the response is only thoughts and prayers, or having a discussion about, hey, if that happened here, how would we handle it? So that you can improve upon it. You've seen, whether it's video from TV or YouTube or something, a book, but take those experiences and don't just let them go away. Evaluate them. Try to learn from them. Olympics. Sorry, let's go back to politics real quick. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. Are they reviewing how they won? Are they reviewing how they lost? Let's take California, for example. Pretty Democrat state. So if a Republican is going for a heavily Democrat area, are his numbers up? Even if he lost, let's say he ran last time for the House. U.S. House, the elections are every 2 years. Senate is every 6. So let's say he ran 2 years ago. And let's just say District 19. I don't know what District 19 is. But District 19, Spencer Ross ran for the district last year. And it's a D+6 district. So that means that the Democrats are expected to win by 6 points. Okay. And let's say I'm on the Democrat ticket and I win by 1 point. Well, wait a minute. I should have won by 6, but I only won by 1. There's a difference of 5 in there. Am I reviewing what happened? Maybe I didn't run the right campaign. Maybe I didn't focus on an area. Maybe I said something dumb and it turned some people off. Maybe I wasn't as energetic. Maybe there was a polling issue. There's lots of things that could go wrong or right in an election. Let's say there's District 22 and California is pretty much a Democrat state. Let's say it's a D plus 10 and a Republican running. He gets pretty close. Okay, so last time in an election, he got pretty close. He got within 4 points. Well, if it's a D plus 10, the Democrat should be winning by 10 points. And if he's getting close, it would be wise to review, hey, why did he do so good? And why did I do so bad? Venezuela. There's some riots going on. There's some issue with the election results. Some people have gone back and reviewed. Why? Because it matters. Who wins does matter. But the other side might be reviewing, hey, did we get our message out? Maybe we did. Maybe there was some election interference. Whatever it is, it would be wise to review. It would be wise to get some different opinions on who does the review. If you've got someone who says it's all sunshine and rainbows and nothing's wrong, which we will cover, is that a proper review? So let's get to that. Olympics. All right, sports. But the Olympics just ended. How do you get to the Olympics? Well, you train hard, you work, you're a human being, right? Simple stuff. But you listen to your coach. You can have all the talent in the world, but you need someone to watch you from outside of your mind, outside of you taking your own video. Maybe one day we'll get to a place where you can critique your own video and be there, but you need an outside influence, an outside person talking to you, saying, hey, when you start, your start is you're wobbling. When you give that baton pass, you're not as smooth as you could be. Maybe you use your right hand instead of your left. When you are doing the hurdles, you're taking too big of a step before you get to the hurdle, so it's slowing you down before you get to the hurdle. Whatever it may be, most people at the Olympics, I would say all of them, have a coach. The girls' basketball team has a coach. There are sports announcers or sports analysts who are reviewing sports. I have a friend at work. We're going to make up a team. We're going to say it's the Doors. Okay? Football season is just about to start. His favorite team is the Doors. When I talk to him, I'm excited for people and their team. I don't care. I just enjoy the game. Hey man, how'd the Doors do this weekend? Oh, they did great. Best team in the NFL. Oh, okay, cool. Is there anything they could have done better? Nope. They won the game. They're perfect. Well, if you know last year, the Doors didn't win last year. So, I go back and they lose. Oh, they suck. Okay, what specifically about that? They just suck. Well, that's why I like watching sports analysis to say, hey, this guy, he keeps running his route too fast. Which, okay, but he's running into his friend. So either he needs to slow down or something, and then he gets fired. If you don't do a review, like right now it's preseason, it's important. These guys are trying to get a job. If you don't listen to the review, if you don't listen to coaches, you could get fired. And then you have to go do something else. And if your goal is to be an NFL player or an Olympic athlete, and you don't listen to that review, are you going to be able to be number one? I want to be number one. Do you want to be number one? Are you listening to reviews? Are you asking for reviews? Let's do something else. The NAR settlement, National Association of Realtors. So there was a lawsuit saying collusion or monopolies, and I'm not going to get into that part, but have you ever tried to buy a house? Okay? There is a settlement that is affecting that process. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I listened to something today. I didn't agree with everything they said, but there's a lot of confusion on what the settlement means. There's a part of it that nobody knows what the outcome is going to be. They know what the outcome is, but they don't know what the effect of that outcome is going to be. So the guy I listened to said that if you get a contract, there'll be no questions. I've done a lot of contracts. Not too many, but I've done a lot. There's lots of questions after you sign the contract, before you sign the contract. Just because it's in black and white doesn't mean all the questions are gone. It's okay, one, to ask questions. I disagree with anybody who says you can't ask questions. There is a time and a place. But there's going to be no questions with a contract? No. Go ahead and ask questions. When you're trying to buy a house, whether to live in, rental, whatever, ask questions. If you don't know something, that doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you wrong. Ask the question. Try to get that feedback. And if you don't like who you're dealing with, because you don't feel comfortable with them saying no questions, whether it's a contractor, I've dealt with that with contractors before, trying to ask questions and they give me a hard time about asking questions. You know what? We didn't use them. So they lost the job. Their feedback was they didn't get the job. And then they asked me, Spencer, why didn't I get the job? Because you gave me a hard time because I asked questions. Well, I don't like questions. Well, I don't like when you went out for bid. Well, I'm sorry. That's the way we do it. I want to go out for bid. I want to know the process of what you're going to do. I'm not going to dictate everything you're going to do, but I would like a general idea. Are you going to follow codes? I think that's pretty important. Why? Because the inspector, when they come, isn't going to find you. They're going to find us. It's a big deal. Sometimes it's, hey, you just need to do a little adjustment. Sometimes you leave the school without water for another week because the inspector goes, no, that's wrong. Here, hold on. Go ahead and turn on the water pipe and let me back up. I wasn't there for that. It took another week to get the water back on. Because we screwed up. Because we didn't listen to all of the input. That doesn't mean everyone's perfect when they give you input. That doesn't mean these videos from me are perfect. But it does mean you ask questions. You go around. And I know there was somebody else that's saying, if someone's not a billionaire, you don't listen to them. Well, I've never talked to a billionaire. And most people don't talk to a billionaire. There's lots of really good people who are really smart, who aren't billionaires, who are really good and have small companies and who are worth listening to. Plants. I'll finish with this. I planted 2 plants out front. Pot on the left, pot on the right. I put a banana peel in the pot on the left. I didn't put a banana peel in the pot on the right. The pot on the right, plant doesn't look so good. Pot on the left, plant looks really good. You know what? Let me try a banana peel in the other one. So I put a banana peel in there. It's not going to be instant. It's going to take some time. And then I put an eggshell in the pot on the left. And I put an eggshell in the pot on the right. Went on my trip. Come back. Pot on the left still looks pretty good. Pot on the right still doesn't look pretty good. I'm like, man, I would have thought that banana peel. So, maybe I'm not giving, maybe it's in a little bit more sun. It's okay to try things. So I give that one a little bit more water. I noticed there's these little, spidery things on it. And I'm like, man, that's weird. Whatever. Spiders aren't going to hurt the plant. Well, I get up one morning, and this was a couple days ago, and there's a lot of spiders on it. And I'm like, dude, that's weird. I've never seen maybe a spider egg sac bloomed or hatched or whatever. Okay, yesterday I get up and there's a leaf encased in a spider web. I'm like, that's weird. I understand that I want caterpillars to come, but I haven't seen any butterflies. That's weird. Now this plant on the left looks almost as bad as the one on the right, and I've been adjusting little things, and I didn't do one adjustment for one day and not be consistent. I did it for about 3 days so I could see if there was an effect, because we want to respond to things. And I've got bugs. I've got a parasite. So I went out and I bought some ladybugs. And it's going to take some time. I should not expect an immediate result. It's a plant. But I'm responding to things. Are we taking input? I get back from my trip and I'm super sick. Not like deathly ill, but I'm sick. I go to the doctor, they give me some antibiotics. Am I willing to take input? Are you willing to take input? Are you willing to listen to your body and go, you know what? Maybe I should get a second opinion. I'm doing everything right. I'm getting more rest. I'm off from my trip. Oh, all right, here's some antibiotics. Am I listening to my coach? Whether there's coaches in politics. Am I willing to listen to, I bought some new shoes and they were looking for a specific type of shoes to help this young lady in softball. What am I listening to? There's lots of people out there who are willing to talk. There's lots of people out there who don't have your best intention for you. They want to take your money. They just want you to get you to buy something. Yeah, I've got advice for you. Buy my program. I sell a book. It's not very much, but I do sell a book. Okay. But is that all I'm doing? If I'm going out there to buy a house, am I paying $1,000 to a realtor so that they can show me to buy a house? Don't do that. It's fraud. Sorry, it's not fraud. It's something else, but it's illegal. You don't have to pay anybody any money to buy a house, to look at a house. I had that happen to me. The realtor said I had to pay, it was $2,000 to use them to look at houses. So I paid it. I was talking about it at work and someone was like, that doesn't seem right. Let me ask my friend. And he called me and he said, no, that's illegal. I've taken care of it. The check is in the mail. Okay, cool. Then I moved on. Let's not be too afraid to ask for a review. Let's not be too afraid to ask for feedback. Yes, the person might scream. Yes, the person might tell me I suck. They might tell you suck. Am I listening to it? Am I trying to see if it's true? Maybe it's just completely false. But am I listening to it? Trying to understand it? See if it actually applies? And then applying it if necessary. Am I getting a second opinion so that I don't get cut from this team? Am I willing to critique myself and not say, yeah, I closed the deal, I'm perfect. Hey, what could I have done in my sales pitch a little bit better? Well, Spencer, you didn't make it personal to me, but I already wanted that product before you showed up. Oh, okay. Because the Doors, they didn't win the Super Bowl last year. They lost in the first playoff game. But they don't do anything wrong when their team wins. Okay. Are we willing to have the courage to give a critique for our favorite thing, our favorite person, and ourselves? Spencer Ross with One Step Forward. It's good to be back. I might not do a video next week. I'm going on another trip. I know I'm busy. You are busy too. Get some rest. Have fun. It's good to be back. I hope you're doing well. Spencer Ross with One Step Forward.